Okay, today we are going to review the two previous lessons that we covered in the first semester from chapter 5, which are the cell cycle, this is the first section, and the second section of chapter 5, which is cell division and mitosis. Okay, now let's remember together the cell cycle. Who remembers what is the meaning of cell cycle? In your own words, guys. What's the meaning of cell cycle? Yes,
Miss,
Abdulrahman. La, Abdulrahman is join us now. Can anyone tell me what is the cell cycle?
Miss,
In
can
your
I?
own words, what's the meaning of cell cycle? Yes, Lujain, please.
It's like the stages of the growth of a cell.
Bravo. The cell goes through different phases or stages of growing. Okay? So these stages or phases where the cells go through is the cell cycle. Each cell starts from step 1 till the end of the cycle. So cells have distinct phases of growth, reproduction, and normal function because we know each cell has specific functions to do. Now let's look at this image here to remember. This is the cell cycle phases. The cell cycle is a regular pattern of the growth of the cell, okay? And DNA replication, we know in each cell there is DNA. This DNA must be replicated, yani copied before the last phase of the cell cycle, which is the cell division. So the cell goes through different phases. The first phase, which is called interphase, through this phase, the cell goes through regular growth, okay? And also through this phase, the DNA of each cell will be replicated, copied in this section, which is the synthesis, DNA synthesis. And additionally, growth happens. After this, the cell will go through division and will divide to two new cells. Okay, do you all remember these stages here? Any question about this part, guys? All right. So here, as we
Miss,
said, the
I
main
have a
stages of the
question.
yes, miss.
So we're revising this. Are we gonna also take it for like the second semester too?
لا miss. Okay, this is only revision. Isn't the main stages we said interphase and mitosis cytokinesis. Interphase, which includes gap 1 synthesis and gap 2. Gap 1 to gap 2 هم growth of the cell. Here is the normal function is happening and growth for the cell, and additionally growth will happen here in gap 2. And during the interphase also the DNA will be divided. And after this happen, mitosis, which is the cell division, will happen, nucleus division, and then the cytoplasm division, which is cytokinesis. This is, I'm reviewing this, yeah, Miss Yasadi, to connect you with the new lesson. Okay? Okay? تمام. هلا إذا this is the cell cycle. Each cell
تمام.
should go through these phases. Okay, and mitosis, which is the cell division, occurs only if the cell is large enough and the D is undamaged. DNA is undamaged. It's copied and undamaged. All right. Now here we talk about rate of cell division varies with the need of those types of cells. Now, each type of cell divided in different rate from others, like the skin cell. Our skin cells, يعني they are have approximately small or short lifespan. Every 2 weeks, our skin cells will be renewed. They will be renewed. Okay? Red blood cells every 4 months. Liver cells they need 300 to 500 days. الانتستين 4 to 5 days. يعني always they are changing, they are renewing. The muscles of the intestine, okay, not the lining, the muscles, they need 16 years. This happen only if there is an injury occur in this part. يعني some cell types, they divide usually always dividing, especially the skin cells and the lining of the intestine. Other cells need months, and some cells like the intestine muscles, they not divide unless they have an injury or damage. Okay? Any question till here, guys? And we said here the cell size is
أنا
limited.
عندي سؤال مس.
Sorry?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes, محمد.
مس في شيء احنا بنسميه بالعربي الانهيار العضلي، بس هذا قديش بده يشفى؟
What?
مس الانهيار العضلي قديش بده ينشفى او لحد
هلا listen to me. This what do you mean with انهيار عضلي؟ يعني في injury in the muscle؟
نو مس.
ولا اللي هو الفتيج؟
لا مس العضلة بتكون تعبانة من الحركة يعني.
من الاكسرسايز صح؟ بس هذا it depends on the exercise. هلا انت if you are exercising usually يعني متعود جسمك to exercise every day او every 2 days a week or 3 days a week، متعود على هذا الشيء جسمك انت. Okay, you used to make exercise always. That means recovery لا your muscles will take short time. أما if you are not يعني أنت not active person sitting all the time not moving, and one day you make a vigorous exercise يعني hard exercise, this will take longer time than an athlete مثلا. you understand؟ حسب طبيعة جسمك. يعني إذا أنت متعود تعمل رياضة وعملت رياضة قاسية بيوم عادي يعني الريكفري بيكون أسرع. بس إذا أنت you are sitting all the time ما بتتعب رياضة أصلا، تعمل فجأة تروح تركض 3 كيلو it will take longer time. ممكن تقعد 2 weeks to recover. عرفت؟
اوكي تمام.
Is it clear محمد؟
يس مس.
تمام. alright. هلا relatively حكينا إنه ال cell size is limited. It should not be too big ولا too small. لازم يكون عندي it should be limited. alright؟ يعني في عندي surface area وفي عندي volume للسيل. تمام؟ هلا عندي ratio of surface area to volume. هو مين بيتذكر عن هذا الحكي؟ هو كان tell me what that means إنه cell size is limited. مين بيتذكر؟ Who can extend this for us? What do you remember about this? مين؟ No one? Okay. هلا احنا بنحكي انه volume increases faster than the surface area. لو طلعنا على هاي عندي surface area هون 6 and the volume is 1. طيب؟ So the ratio of surface area to volume قديش؟ 6 to 1. Here the surface area 24 where the volume is 8. So it's 3 to 1. هون 2 to 1. يعني هون عندي أنا ال surface area is more big than the volume. لازم يكون عندي أنا الريشيو relative size الفوليوم to الريشيو الفوليوم للsurface area is limited. اوكي ما لازم يكون أكبر من الطبيعي ولا أقل من الطبيعي. اوكي هلا the last thing هون surface area must allow for adequate exchange of material. So it should be limited. وعشان لما نحكي limitation للسيل سايز عم بحكي عن two things surface area وفوليوم. لازم يكون الريشيو تبعهم limited. اوكي ليش؟ لانه surface area must allow for adequate exchange of material. اوكي انا بدي adequate amount of material. I don't want a lot of amount or few amount. I want the adequate amount, the needs of the cell. Okay, so تمام. Okay, for this one. Just 1 minute and let's stop. Alright. Okay, and as you see here, we have different types of cells. This is the nerve cells, this is the blood cells, هدول the skin cells. Okay, each one has different shape. Okay, في عندي أنا مثلا nerve cells. They are very. Sometimes you can find a nerve cell which is very very long. That if you look in the neck of a giraffe, you can find there is one cell, nerve cell بتكون طالعة من الneck to the end of the leg of the giraffe. But the surface area تبعها with the volume have a normal ratio. اوكي صح هي very very long but the surface area والvolume ratio is normal فعشان هيك sometimes you find some cells very small some cells are long like the nerve cells in some animals. Any questions for this one, guys? No questions? Okay. Now let's go to the second part, which is talking about mitosis and cytokinesis. Who remembered what is the meaning of mitosis? Yeah, who can tell me what is the meaning of mitosis? يلا miss, I need participations. يلا. طيب. Yes, Abdullah. What is mitosis?
Okay, mitosis is a process where a single like cell divides into like more copies of the cells.
Two. Okay? Each cell divided to two daughter cells. صح؟
Yes.
تمام. This is the mitosis. Mitosis يعني هي it's a phase that the cell goes through in its cycle. احنا قلنا الcell goes through different phases in the cell cycle. One of these phases is mitosis and cytokinesis. And we said that mitosis and cytokinesis is the last phase of the cell cycle. يعني after the cell growing and the DNA divided and additionally growing happen, the last step in the cell cycle is the division, which is mitosis and cytokinesis. Okay? Now, what is the difference between mitosis and cytokinesis? Who remembers? Yes, Murar.
السيتوكينيسيس هي الديفيجن تبعت السيتوبلازم.
برافو. والميتوسيس
هي تبعت السيل كاملة.
النيوكليوس of the cell.
النيوكليوس.
هلا احنا عندنا one cell كل cell فيها نيوكليوس صح؟ لما يصير عندي division each cell should have a new nucleus. فالنيوكليوس when it's divided بضل عندي السيتوبلازم لسه موجود حواليهم the same cytoplasm. So the step of dividing the nucleus هو الميتوسيس. After the nucleus divided into two new nucleolus, the cytokinesis would happen, which is the division of the cytoplasm. Okay, so before we go through this process, let's remember the chromosomes. We said that each cell has its DNA. Each one of you guys have different DNA makeup. يعني الميك-up of your DNA is different from your friend's DNA or from relatives or anyone. كل واحد عنده specific DNA which is different from others. What is the DNA? Who can tell me what is the DNA? Yes, yeah. What is the meaning of DNA, guys? Yes, yeah, Abdullah.
Teacher, can you repeat the question?
What is the meaning of DNA? Each cell has a nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there is something called DNA. What is a DNA?
DNA, teacher?
Yeah.
Okay. Think of DNA is like a heredity material in humans.
The what again?
Heredity.
Yes, يعني excellent, good, but we say it's a genetic material.
Okay.
A genetic material which you inherited. يعني DNA, makeup of your DNA, from where you got your DNA makeup? From your parents. You inherited the characteristics that you have from your parents. The DNA هي genetic makeup which have all the characteristics that you have. أي صفة موجودة فيك موجودة وين؟ في DNA. Okay? إذا هو genetic material which you inherited from your parents. من وين اجت كل واحد DNA من وين اجت؟ من البيرنت. ليش صار عندنا mixing فيها؟ لأنه في عندي half of each cell in your body come half of it from the male اللي هي المother الفيميل اللي هي المother و half from your father. The DNA make a new makeup mix من المother والfather عملوا انت اللي هو new makeup. Okay? So DNA هي genetic material that encloses the nucleus of each cell. Okay, DNA. Okay, how does the DNA enclosed in this small nucleus? The DNA is very, very long. Okay, if you hold the DNA from the beginning and stretch it, okay, it will have very long, it may reach meters. Its length may reach meters. So how this DNA structure, which has a meters long, enclosed in very small, tiny nucleus? Yes, yeah, Murad.
Because it's condensed.
Bravo.
It
They are
condense.
wrapped, condensed, مضغوطة مع بعض and folding in this way. هي الدي ان اي when it's stretched. هي الدي ان اي بيكون عندي دبل هيلكس الستراكشر تبعهم بنقول عنه دي ان اي دبل هيلكس. شو يعني دبل هيلكس؟ زي اللادر اللي هو السلم but twisted. تخيل انت عندك لادر and you twisted هيك بتكون بارمو، بيكون عندي هذا شكل الدي ان اي، بيكون دبل هيلكس لانه عندي تو ستراند، هي 1 شايفين الارو وهي 2 ستراند وفي عندي between these two strands حناخد عنهم نيوكليوتايد يعمل شكله زي اللادر بس twisted ladder فبنسميه هيلكس دبل هيلكس. هلا هذا لما يكون stretch هذا الدي ان اي when it's stretched it look like this. How this coiled and condensed inside the nucleus. شوفوا كيف هذا الدي ان اي بيعمل wrapping around histone. histone هو البروتين يصير يلف حوالين هدول البيربل color histone. اوكي وهدول كمان they will condense more بيعملوا برضه coiling شايفين اوكي until they بيصيروا على شكل الكروماتين and they are super coiled will be condensed more and more ليكون عندي super coiled DNA. فهذا الدي ان اي super coiled لهذا الشكل اللي هو الكروموسوم. هذا الكروموسوم if you stretch the beginning of this chromosome to the end it will be very long. بس سبحان الله قدرة الله سبحانه وتعالى إنه هذا الدي ان اي it is coiled and wrapped in this way to have a condensed structure which is the chromosome. تمام؟ إذا الدي ان اي إحنا تبع الهيومن بيحتوي على 46 كروموسوم. كل اي سبيشيز يعني احنا از هيومنز احنا الدي ان اي عندنا عباره عن 46 كروموسوم. ممكن الاقي الدي ان اي باذر سبيشيز زي مثلا الرابت، اظن الرابت 44 كروموسوم. مثلا الكاروت وهدول بلانتس برضه عندهم كروموسوم، عندهم دي ان اي لانهم ليفينج ثينجز. اي ليفينج سيل اي سيل عايشه اذا بلانت انيمال وات ايفر اني ليفينج ثينج في عنده دي ان اي. اوكي هذا حتى البكتيريا عندها دي ان اي. اوكي اني ليفينج ثينج هذا دي ان اي، بس الدي ان اي بيختلف عدده من one species to another. احنا as humans الدي ان اي تبعنا موجود في 46 كروموسوم، يعني كل الدي ان اي بلف حوالين حاله بيعمل عندي 46 زي هذا الشكل اللي هو كروموسوم. اوكي هذا الكروموسوم هيا شايفينه هذا الدي ان اي when it's stretched. okay after it's called about histone يصير اسمه كروماتين. لما يصير عنده condensing in this shape زي الاكس shape هيو هذا بنسميه كروموسوم. ف DNA plus proteins اللي هم الهيستونز بيكون اسمه كروماتين. one half of duplicated chromosome is a chromatid. شايفين هذا كله كروموسوم عامل شكل زي الاكس. each half كل half منه اسمه كروماتيد. تمام؟ وهدول التو كروماتيد بنسميهم سيستر كروماتيد. ليش سيستر؟ لانهم هم they are held together with a centromere. كل تو كروماتيد سيستر كروماتيد held by a centromere. وفي عندي كمان end of the chromosomes بنسميهم telomere. اوكي هدول التيلوميرز they are يعني الله خلقهم to protect the chromosomes while division. تحمي الجينات اللي عندنا هدول التيلوميرز. احيانا during the division بصير احيانا عندي loss of the chromosome part فهدول التيلومير الله خلقهم ليه؟ to protect الكروموسومز والدي ان اي، اذا صار عندي اي خلل هدول بيحموهم. اوكي؟ طيب هلا I just want to check the time. لسه we have 10 minutes left. طيب اذا كمان مره احنا عندنا in each cell هذا very very important، عم براجع لانه it's very important for the next stage. Okay? For the next lesson. So you have to concentrate and you have to ask me if you have anything if there is something is not clear. Right? So again, we said that each cell has a nucleus and other organelles. In each nucleus, there is a genetic material called DNA. وإحنا as a human, the genetic material is composed in 46 chromosomes. How does this material look like? It looks like this. It's a double helix. But double helix هذا it doesn't fit inside our nucleus if it's stretched like this. No, they are coiled around proteins which called histone to make a chromatin. They are super coiled more and contained in a chromosome. So احنا عندنا الدي ان اي عباره عن 46 كروموسوم. وهدول البارتس تاعون الكروموسوم. Each chromosome عنده two parts. Each part بنسميه chromatid. The two chromatids which held together with a centromere are called sister chromatids. Is it clear, guys? Still here? Any question?
Yes. No.
All right. تمام. وقلنا التيلومير هو بيكون التيلومير اللي هو at the end of the chromosome which protects the DNA. Okay. And it doesn't include any genes. يعني هم ما في أي صفات أنت وراثية باخذها. هذا just for protection. هنحكي عنه later in more detail. هلا هون the last thing we want to review اللي هو mitosis and cytokinesis. فإحنا عندنا السيل أصلا فيها DNA. فهذا DNA when the cell is small لسه بالفيرست step of the cell cycle بيكونوا هدول DNA زي ايش؟ زي النودل. هيك very tiny, very thin، ما بيكونوا condensed لسه. Very thin, very tiny. Okay? What is happening here? إنه during the cell cycle, the cell is growing and these DNA double helix strands must be copied before this cell is divided. Okay? So, during the interphase, the cell is preparing itself for the division. It's growing and the organelles are functioning. Some organelles are produced and made during this growth. Okay? During interphase, the DNA also is duplicated. In addition to the growing, this DNA must be duplicated. How does it happen? Let's see here. During the mitosis, before mitosis, DNA should look like this. Look here at this one. كان عندي كل DNA كل strand was one strand. It was not duplicated. شايفين؟ عندي من the red one. من البلو عندي one strand. من اليلو عندي one. من الجرين عندي one. Before division, each one must have a copy of it. Each one must have a copy of it. فشوفوا كيف how this happens. During prophase, chromosomes condense and spindle fibers form. شايفين؟ هلا عندي أنا البلو صار عندي عمل منه copy two chromatids. Yes, any question? Yes, إياد.
Miss هلا after division ولا before division؟
لا هلا copying of DNA بيصير before division. بتحضر حالها السيل للديفيجن. فقبل ما تعمل ديفيجن يا اياد لازم الدي ان اي ينعمل له كوبي. ليش؟ عشان لما تنقسم السيل كل سيل جديده يكون عندها نفس عدد الكوبيز من الدي ان اي. صح ولا لا؟
Yes.
فلازم يصير عندي copying للدي ان اي before division before mitosis. فهيو انا عندي هون before mitosis كانوا هيك. قبل ما يصير الميتوسيس ويصير السيل ديفيجن لازم يصير عندي كوبينج. البلو بصير عنده كوبي. هي صار عندي 2 ستراند. الريد نفس الشيء، اليلو والجرين. هلا اتس ريدي تو ديفايد. صار عندي انا لسه ميتوسيس ما بلش، هلا اتس ريدي تو ديفايد. الميتوسيس when it start اول شيء بصير عندي النيوكليوس في حواليها نيوكليير انفلوب. هذا النيوكليير انفلوب اللي هو الممبرين هذا it will start to disappear. تمام؟ it will be disappear. after this هذه بنسميها بروفيز. الكروموسوم condense, spindle fibers form, والنيوكليير membrane is disappearing. هلا بدخلوا في مرحله ثانيه during mitosis اللي هي ميتافيز. هدول الكروموسوم will align بيجوا هيك بالنص. تمام؟ in the middle of the cell. then what will happen during anaphase sister chromatids separate. شايفين؟ كل واحد كان عامل من حاله copy. they will separate the sister chromatids in opposite sides. alright. بعدين صار عندي هون أول شيء الميتوسيس they will يعني divide. هيك النيوكليوس صار عندها division. صار عندي هون on each opposite side في عندي chromosomes. okay, the nuclear membrane will start to reform again in each part. and after this هون mitosis خلصت الtelophase finished. then the cytokinesis will start, which is the division of cytoplasm. Okay, and in animal cells it will pinch and close. بس بالplant cells لا بكون عندي platform between two cells. بكون عندي بيناتهم platform. ما they not pinch. Okay, هلا the time is over. Tomorrow if you have any question you can ask me guys. Okay, see you tomorrow because you have the next class soon. Alright guys, see you tomorrow. I want to take the attendance please. Alright. Okay, let's take the attendance, just 1 minute. Okay.
Bye.